What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, you ever wonder why Hollywood just can't get it right when it comes to so-called black characters, and why it seems like either you're going way over the top, setting black people back by like 500 years, or you're just creating a character that's just not fleshed out at all. It's just basically there to say that we have diversity and there's no depth of character, whatever, soever. Looking at you, Finn, by the way, John Boyega also agrees with that. He also has gone on record as saying that he doesn't agree with the way that his character Finn was portrayed in the so-called sequel, what I call the Nyquil trilogy. Meanwhile, they were bragging that we have diversity. We have Rose Tico, we have Finn, we have Poe, we have the woman, we have Rey, and all of this stuff. But for some reason, it just never seems to go down in a satisfying way. Well, I have this story here that is sort of an example of what exactly the problem is with these Hollywood types when it comes to the way they portray and interpret black characters. I mean, first of all, maybe that's the issue, that they're looking to interpret black characters instead of creating good, strong characters. And in this case, when you actually have a good, strong character, you want to deconstruct it and saddle it with your black stereotypes to so-called make it more authentic, even though you have a good, solid character that has broken through over the last 10 years. Now listen, the story that I'm talking about here, or the show, is called Luther. Okay, starring Idris Elba. Now, I haven't actually watched this show. This is on the BBC. I don't watch a whole lot of that stuff, but I do know of this show. I know that it's very popular, so a little bit of a controversy has been stirring up because Luther has been cited as not being black enough, right? So let me get into this article that I have here to show you guys what I'm talking about. And this is a perfect example to the black community out there, like why you can't have Hollywood or demand that Hollywood represent you. Okay? Because almost every time you do this, it's going to be condescending. I've been saying for years, the only path forward for black people anywhere, whether it's this country or whether it's the world, would be to embrace your humanity and all of the characteristics of humanity. Then you can stop crying about what you don't see on the screen representing you, because you realize that it's about your characteristics, your actual personality traits, strength of character, things like that. It goes so much deeper than the actual physical aspect of it. Now, if you can find somebody who is talented, who is black or Asian or Indian or Latino or white, that's great. Or man or woman or gay or bi, all of that stuff is great. But that can't be the starting point, because sometimes it tends to be that your starting point is actually your finishing point. You start with black and you end with black, but you never do get into the character, So listen, let me get into this story here. This was actually on IndieWire.com. And it says here, Idris Elba's Luther isn't authentic because he doesn't have any black friends, says BBC exec. BBC diversity chief, a diversity chief, someone who actually makes these decisions, okay? A diversity chief. This is all types of wrong. Has ignited a backlash over her comments about Elba's fan favorite detective. All right, it goes on to say, BBC diversity chief Miranda Whalen has stirred up controversy on social media due to a discussion at the digital MIPTV conference via Entertainment Tonight, in which she said Idris Elba's popular crime series Luther is not authentic when it comes to black storytelling. What is black storytelling? You see what I'm saying? This is where you start going wrong right off the bat. You're trying to tell a black story instead of telling a compelling story. That's a mistake right there, because when you go to 5 different black people, you're going to get 5 different depictions of what a black person is, what a human being is. There is no set in stone about what it means or what it is to be black. People need to stop trying to roll with that. You don't know what it's like to be black in America. Okay, neither do you. You know what it's like to be you in America as a black person, but your experience is not going to be my experience. You know what I mean? You're kidding yourself. It's just not like that. We didn't all come off the same assembly line, wrapped up the same way to have the same experience. It doesn't work that way. As Waylon explained, when Luther first came out, everybody loved the fact that Idris Elba was in there. A really strong black character lead. We all fell in love with him. Who didn't, right? Of course, you got to find a problem with that. Everybody loved the character. Everyone could relate to the character. It shows me that you did something right? So, by all means, let's change that. There's an old saying that says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, Hollywood execs, they go the exact opposite of that. All right? If it ain't broke, let's mess with it. Let's reinvent it. Let's deconstruct it and make it in our own image. Okay, he doesn't have any black friends. Wait. Okay, so he was there. He was a really strong black character. We all fell in love with him. Who didn't? But after you got into about the second series, you're kind of like, okay, he doesn't have any black friends. He doesn't eat Caribbean food. This doesn't feel authentic. So basically, because you don't see him eating some fried chicken, some watermelon, drinking some great Kool-Aid, it's not authentic to you. All right, you should be ashamed of yourself. You got a strong character, but you need to see this dude doing all of these stereotypes to make you feel better about his authenticity as what you conceive to be a black person. Whaling continued, it's great having these big landmark shows with those key characters, but it's about making sure everything around them, their environment, their culture, is set absolutely reflective. The set is absolutely reflective. It will be very much about how we can make sure that this program is authentic in terms of storytelling. Many Luther fans reacted critically on social media to Wayland's comments. The Telegraph and Daily Mail UK commentator Calvin Robinson wrote on Twitter, yesterday it was implied I'm not black enough because I didn't have any black friends in my photo. Today, BBC's diversity chief says Luther isn't black enough because he doesn't have any black friends. These lazy stereotypes are racist. Robinson continued, great thing about Luther is that his skin color isn't the core of his identity. Listen up, this is very important. His skin color isn't the core of his identity. He's fighting many battles. As an example, that we're all human. We all struggle, but our ethnicity doesn't always play a part in that. That's diversity, Miranda Wayland. Equality. Yeah, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Your human experience is ultimately the most important experience that you actually have. I'm not saying that you discount the fact that you have a racial identity, whether it be black or white or anything else. That is important. But really what makes you and shapes you are your human experiences. You know what I mean? And all progress is in that direction. Anything else brings you back. This is why Joe Biden can go on to say, I interpret black people as people who vote for me. If you don't vote for me, then you're not black. You know what I'm saying? If you don't vote for my party, then you're not black. If you don't believe that the police are the enemy of black people, then you're not black. You see what I'm saying? What happens to a people where you don't entertain diversity of thought? These people are trying to keep us on a plantation of thought, and of imagination. These are the same people who tell you that you can't even voice a cartoon character that doesn't look like you or doesn't act like you. And of course, they get to interpret what it means to act like you as a black person. You can't see how this might be dangerous to children in the next generation who are not allowed to be human beings. These people are trying to keep us apart, basically, is what it comes down to. They want to keep black people, especially, in this very small box of being and existing. And until we are smart enough to see what these people are trying to do, it's just going to get worse, and we're going to go backwards and backwards and backwards. You know, and we think, yeah, that's the reason why we need a black Superman. No, no, it's not the way it works. You have to understand that you can be better. You can produce better. You can imagine better. You deserve better. But they'll tell you that, you should have a black Superman. And of course, he should deal with things like late mortgage payments, and he should deal with things like police brutality and all this stuff. They just put you exactly where they want you to be, you know, and that's a problem. That's not serving the future of our people, any people at all. You know, so there it is, guys. I just wanted to put this out there because it's yet another example that these people are not on your side. They're not. You have a character being played by an incredibly talented, popular actor, and they want to find a problem with it because he doesn't eat Caribbean food. He doesn't eat fried chicken and watermelon. It's what it boils down to. You know, and you don't see him doing the handshake and all that stuff. They want to see more of that. They want to take it back, you know, instead of going forward and having people understand they're human beings. Human beings. No. They're black. So that's what we're dealing with, guys. All right. So maybe it's just me. You let me know if you see what I see. You can get in the comment section and you can talk to me about it. Let me know your opinion on this. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can catch me on Twitter. Those links will be supplied in the comment section below. So go on and check it out. All right, guys, thanks for listening to me babble. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.